Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm gonna do for you a green smoky eye tutorial. During the Sephora VIB sale, decided to pick up this Theory palette in the color Absinthe, and it is so gorgeous. I don't know why, but suddenly I'm really into playing with greens and seeing if I can figure out a very wearable green look that doesn't look like I popped out of the 70s, something that's kind of like a modern green look. And so I thought that today I would play with this palette, see if I can come up with something that's a little bit of a modern look with some green in it. So I hope you guys like it. If you want to see how I came up with this look, stick around. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for visiting. I hope that you will stay by hitting the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so that you will know each time I post a new video. If you hear noise during this video, we are building a pool out back and there is an excavator. So that is what the noise is. So let's get into the tutorial. Hi guys, I have moved the camera up so that you can see what I'm doing. I am going to first prime my face with this Hourglass Veil. I don't know why the camera will not focus, but I'm gonna put this all over my face. It's supposed to be really good for oily skin, which is why I bought it at the Sephora VIB sale. And we will see over the next few months how much I like it. It definitely has that silicone-y feel, which I don't mind. Hopefully it won't affect my skin too much. But I'm gonna be using half the viewfinder and half my my mirror over here. But the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to try this new Clinique foundation. This was given to me by Ulta. Ulta was having like some kind of promotion where I guess if you were platinum, you could get any free Clinique foundation that you want, and this is the one that I chose, and it's called Even Better Makeup. It's got SPF 15 in it. Again, don't ever depend on the SPF that is in your foundations as enough SPF for your skin. You should always put on a fair amount of SPF before you do any foundation, and just consider your foundation to be like the cherry on top. So I'm gonna shake this up, and this is the first time I'm ever using it. So I am going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I am going to, hopefully this is the right shade. I kind of just looked at it in the store and went with it. I'm gonna take my Real Techniques sponge, and I'm gonna just start patting that into my skin. The most redness in my face is on my cheeks and right down the center of my face, like my nose, around my nose. I mean, I think those are like hormonal redness places where people feel, I mean, people get a lot of redness, so I think that's pretty common place for redness. So I'm gonna add a little bit more just where I need it, right in the center of my face, and we'll see how that does. In terms of coverage, this is not a matte foundation, and typically I do go for matte foundations, but the matte foundation for Clinique was like a full coverage foundation, and I just about never wear full coverage. That's not the look that I go for. I like a really natural looking foundation that's just gonna even out my skin. So this one is more of like a satin finish, and it's like light coverage, which is totally fine with me. Where I need a little bit more coverage is probably gonna be my under eyes, and I'll just put a little bit more concealer under there. So I'm not worried about that at all. Let me just wipe this off my hand. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is use my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 15 Clair, and I'm gonna put a little bit of that under my eyes. I know that a lot of YouTubers put like goops and goops and goops of concealer under their eyes. That is like definitely not the way to go if you're looking for like a everyday look. I know that when we film, I can tell you for sure I wear a fair amount more makeup than usual just because I want my face to look more perfected, but for everyday life, like you should just tap a dot into the corner of the corner of your eyes. And I learned that from Lisa Eldridge. I did not know that. I'm not a makeup artist. I just watched all of her videos, and I think her makeup is so spectacular. I think that's the best way to do makeup, is just to put on what you need and not more. And I think a lot of YouTubers put on just tons and tons of makeup, and that is a style too. Like a lot of people really love tons and tons of makeup, but I'm typically going for a more natural look. So I just use this Real Techniques complexion, what's it called? A correcting brush. And I just like to use that to smooth out the concealer on my face. I also bring it down a little bit onto my cheeks where I have a little bit more redness, and around my nose, and sometimes I even do the tip of my nose because I tend to look like Rudolph a lot. And then the next thing, let me make sure that that is nice and blended. So I'm gonna come in really, really close so you guys can see my face. My pores are pretty noticeable right here. I don't feel like that primer really did anything for my pores at all. And my face certainly is not matte. I'm about to take my By Terry powder. I'm sorry, not my By Terry. I'm gonna use my IT Cosmetics Pressed Bye Bye Pores powder today. And I'm just going to powder my face, and let's see if it looks less shiny than it does right now, because right now to me it looks a little bit on the shiny side for my taste. So this is my favorite powder because it's not heavy. It does not get in my creases. It's great for setting the under eyes. It is great for setting your makeup. I love it for just about everything. I've gone through a pan of it already. This is my second pan, and I think I'm like well into it already. It's my favorite powder. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in the shade Light. And I'm just gonna sculpt my nose. That is a step that I do every day. I always sculpt my nose just to make it look thinner. Even on the days where I'm like barely wearing any makeup at all, I'll just do this. I usually do not sculpt my cheeks because I just don't have that kind of patience on a regular basis. But, so I'm just bringing that down the center of my, or rather the sides of my nose a little bit. And then I'm gonna dig into this new palette. Actually, rather, before I dig into blush, I'm gonna use my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It just to bronze my face a little bit. And I'm gonna be using this Real Techniques brush. It's the Real Techniques blush brush. So I'm just gonna put that up here and up here, and then kind of bronze and contour. This is a very light color. The color that I have is the lighter of the two. You can get two. This is like the biggest pan on earth. If you buy this, it's like $12 and you'll never run out of it. It's the hugest pan. But I really do like this color in particular because I can bronze and I can contour with it because it's got a little bit more of a cool tone. I'll just bring it up close so that you guys can see it. It's kind of a more cool toned powder. So I kind of like it for that reason because you can do both with it. And then I'm gonna take the Nars Tryst palette. I got this at the Sephora VIB sale. I could not decide if I should get this, but I went ahead and got it because I just thought it was so beautiful, and I figured if I didn't like it, I could always sell it on like Poshmark or one of these things. But like, look at this, guys. It's so incredibly beautiful. So I am going to take my brush and I am going to put it in this shade right here. And I am going to be using my MAC blush brush, which is a MAC 129. And this is supposed to give like a really natural look, and it's buildable. Like, you're not going to get a ton of color payoff the first minute you use it. So I'm just going to put like a couple of layers of that on the apples of my cheeks. And then I may even go in a tiny bit with a deeper color right here and add a little bit more brightness, because I think for even fair skin tones, these are so like, I think that you can wet them and get like really, really intense pigment, but that's not what I look for. And so I think if you use them dry, you can even use the really dark colors, which is why I bought the palette, because I felt like I could, after watching their reviews, I felt like I could wear every color if I just use it dry, which I can clearly because I'm putting this on my cheeks and it does not look like too much. So pretty. And then I am going to take my little highlighter brush. This is a Sigma high cheekbone highlighter brush. It's a F03, and I'm going to dip that into this gold shade right here, and I'm going to use that as my highlight just in the center of the nose. We are building a pool in the back right here behind me, and there's a big what is it called? The machine, like an excavator? I think it's an excavator, excavating my backyard. So if you hear the noise, that's what it is. So I'm gonna put a tiny bit of this down the center of my nose, and then I'm also gonna put it a little bit on my cheekbones. Again, it's not a super intense highlight, but I don't want it to be. If you wanted a more intense highlight out of this, you could wet it, and then it would be more strobe-y. But I like really, really light highlights. Can you guys even see that? I don't know. Can I even see it? Yeah, I can see it a little bit in my mirror. Tell me if you guys can see it in the comments below and if you like it. Pretty. Not too much. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I am gonna prime with my Milani eye primer. Right here, it's just like $5 or $6 from the grocery store. It's like such a good product. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on my lids. I tend to have very, very oily lids, so like I could never prime with a concealer. I think I'd probably crease in like 2 hours. Even by the end of the day, my mascara is starting to like smudge up here because of the oil on my eyelids. I guess the benefit of that is that I won't have wrinkles, but in the meantime, I'm pretty oily. Okay, so the palette I'm gonna be using today, which is kind of the star of the show, is my Viseart Theory palette in the Absinthe color. Absinthe? I don't even really know. But anyway, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip into the white shade just to prime my lids with a Sephora professional flat brush. It's just an all over the lid shader. And I'm just gonna put that all over my lids, just a nice cream color. And it's nice because I use the Roden & Fields Lash Growth Serum, which is the same thing as Latisse. It's just a prostaglandin that causes your eyelashes to grow, and it does cause discoloration of your eyes, and it has caused discoloration of my lids. So I do need to like put a little bit of a white color on my lids to take away that brown. The next color that I'm gonna use is this brown color right here. And I'm gonna dip into that with my Sigma E40. I love this brush. It was like the part of the Bunny collection a few years ago. If I could still get my hands on brushes like that, I would buy 20 more of them. It's my favorite blending brush. And I'm just gonna lightly start dusting this in the crease as a crease color. This is just a nice, like totally neutral brown, but it is kind of dark, so like I'm not gonna go ham. I'm just using kind of a light amount of it to go in the crease. And I'm just gonna really blend that out into the crease. And a tiny bit above the crease, because right now I have Botox in my forehead and that causes my eyebrows to drop a little bit. And so when my eyebrows drop a little bit because my forehead is so relaxed, it causes me to have a slightly hooded lid, which means that when I'm applying my eyeshadow, I go slightly above the crease to create the illusion of a crease. When my Botox wears off, my lids gradually go up and get a little bit bigger. I can get Botox a little bit right here, and that will sometimes bring my lid up a little bit more. I just haven't had time to go do that. So that is like a beautiful, nice neutral brown. I think it's so pretty. And for some reason, it looks like there's a really weird shadow on my face right here in the camera that I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna fix that in a minute. But I'm gonna finish putting this beautiful brown color in my crease on my left eye here. And notice how I'm blending with my eyes open. That's how you really get a good crease. I don't close it. I just do it with my eyes open. And then I just make sure to look and see that they are both equivalent on both sides. I'm gonna just take my Beauty Blender for a second, and I'm going to tap on my nose because I feel like the top looks brown. I don't know if that's from my Kevin Aquan deal or what. But the next step I'm going to take, I don't have any plan for this green look, but what I'm gonna do next is I am going to take a flat shader brush, my beloved MAC 239, and I'm going to dip into this bright green shade, and I'm gonna put that on the center of my lids and just see how that looks. Guys, I have never worn green eyeshadow ever in my life, so this is big. This is big, this is major. I just want to see how it's gonna look. And I'm gonna bring it all the way into the corner because in a minute I'm gonna go over the inner corner with some gold to kind of tone down that green. I think that like I can pull this off, probably not. I wouldn't wear this to work, but I would wear this on a Saturday night, and I think I could pull it off pretty easily on a Saturday night if you wear like a super neutral look and just make it like a smoky green eye. So I'm gonna just put that all over like a little bit more to the left of the center on both sides. Well, more, it's not exactly center, it's slightly toward the outside of my lid, if you can see. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this really dark green color right here, and I'm just gonna put like a teeny little bit of that on the outer V of my eye. And I'm gonna be using my favorite brush for that purpose, which is a MAC 217. And I'm just gonna like really lightly dip that in the dark green. And I'm just gonna make the outer V a little bit defined, and that, even that tiny little dip really put too much. So I am gonna have to go back in with the brown and kind of blend that out. That was a little much, and it's not blending that well with that brush. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. That is like super pigmented, guys, if you decide to get this palette. So I'm really trying to blend that into the outer V to make just a really pretty smoky eye. I'm probably gonna have to go back and clean this up because there's a little bit of a mess. What I probably should have done is put a little bit of tape so that it didn't make a mess, considering I'm working with like a dark green shadow. But what I'm gonna do next is I am going to take a little bit more of the brown on my brush here, and I'm gonna really blend that green out in the corner. Because I do want to see a little bit of brown with it, because I think that makes it, this is just my opinion, it's not like a makeup artist's opinion, but I think it makes it a little bit more of a modern green look if you've got a little bit of brown in your crease and it's not like straight up green like out of the 70s. So if you add a little bit of brown to the crease, to me it makes it more of a modern green. So I'm gonna keep blending because this little patch right here, if you guys see it, is like not blended out at all. So I'm really working to blend that. I'm definitely having to blend more with this particular palette than I do with my cashmere palette. But I guess this is probably a much darker color than I tend to use in my cashmere palette as well. So that is the look so far. And then the next thing I want to do is I really want to brighten it up by adding some of this gold right here to the kind of inner third of the lid, and I'm going to do that using the same shader that I used before for the green, if I can find it. Okay, so I am going to dip into this gold with my flat shader brush, and I'm going to just put that all over here, and that really kind of tones down the green. It's so pretty, you guys. Beautiful. It's like a greeny gold. Absolutely stunning. I think like this is like a modern green look. I don't think it looks too crazy. I think it's definitely an evening look. Would definitely not wear this to work, but I think it's super pretty. And if you're going to like a holiday party this season, I think this as a green would be so beautiful for the holidays, you guys. I like really love it. So that's what I'm doing up top. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my Sigma, this is a MAC 822, and I'm gonna just dip it into the brown shade right here, and I'm gonna put that a little bit under my lid. You guys hear that excavator back there? So yeah, my low buy, that's so over, you guys. I like went completely crazy with these Ulta and Sephora sales. I'm about to film a second haul for you guys from the second weekend of the haul. I guess 6 months without buying makeup, and like the holiday collections came out, and I was like going crazy. I was so excited about the new makeup releases that I went a little ham, a little crazy. Luckily it's my birthday, and for the almost 2 years that I've had a YouTube channel, I have managed to make a few dollars off of the link, so thank you to you guys, because I'm able to buy some makeup to review for you guys by your shopping through the links that I leave below. It allows me to purchase a little bit more makeup, so thank you, because I got a little bit of money from that, which I used towards some of these holiday purchases. I am also gonna dip this into the bright green and just put that on the outer edge. Just really lightly, just to carry that color onto the lower lid. So beautiful, you guys. I can't believe how much I love this look. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to do my brows. I didn't want to do a really severe brow because I'm doing kind of, not a severe eye look, but kind of a more standing out kind of an eye look. So I just want to fill in my brows very, very lightly. And this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz, is kind of my go-to. I have pretty sparse brows. And so I just fill them in a little bit. I'm not really an Insta brow kind of a gal. So I just fill in the kind of bald spots on my brows. And then I'll brush through that just to blend it all together with a spoolie, because even right now they look pretty severe to me. But as soon as I use the spoolie, it makes it all better. It's so good. The spoolie that I use is just an e.l.f. spoolie. I think it was like $1. And this is it. It's like an e.l.f. Lash and Brow Wand. And so I'll just run that through my brows, and it just, whatever I've done, it makes it look better and less severe. So I'll do that. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to take my Smashbox Eversharp eyeliner, and it's in 3D Galaxy. It's like a black with a little bit of gold flecks, but I don't really think you see the gold flecks. I think it looks black to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to line my eyes. I know you're not supposed to pull your eyes, but I can't line my eyes without it. And I really just tight line my eyes. I'm not like I don't really know how to do wings. Y'all, this is so gorgeous. It looks like an olivey green look. It's like totally beautiful. And then I'm gonna bring this down a little bit on the lower lash line. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Just basically tight lining to make my lashes look thicker. And then I'll bring that down to the bottom too. And then I will put on some mascara next. I'm gonna be using my Shumera lash curler, and then I will be using my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. I really like this stuff. I think it's so good. I think it's a dupe for the Lancome one, which I really like as well. And I really do think it makes a difference to my brows. My eyelashes when I'm putting on the mascara. So I'll do that on both sides. And then I am using my Maybelline Rocket Volume mascara. And I'm going to just try to build up my lashes a little bit here. I think I'm gonna have an easier time if I do this in a small mirror here. My lashes are really long from that lash boost, so I have to like almost close my eyes when I'm doing my mascara, otherwise it gets all over my eyelid and ruins my eyeshadow. So I get really, really down to the roots over there to get them even more black and give the illusion that I have thicker, more voluminous, I can't talk today, lashes than I actually do. And then same thing on this side. For whatever reason, the lashes on my left eye grow longer than the lashes on my right eye. How about you guys? Putting on mascara is like my least favorite part of my makeup routine, but it's the most impactful. I love the way it looks, but I hate putting it on. It just takes so long and a lot of patience, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a tiny bit to this side. Let me see if that looks equal. I think it mostly looks equal. And then I'm gonna add a tiny bit to my lower lashes. And I just got it under my eye a little. And then I'm gonna go in with that gold again, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of that gold into the inner corners, right here, and a little bit right here, underneath. And it does have a fair amount of sparkle in it. So again, I think this palette would be like totally amazing for a holiday party, because I think I'll wear it to our holiday party, because I think it is so pretty to do a green smoky eye with this. So that is kind of the finished look on my eyes. I think probably I could have used a little bit more blending in the crease over here, but I don't really have the patience to do that right now. I'm just gonna go get my kids from school, so it doesn't really matter. I am gonna take my NYX liner in the color Sandstorm, and I'm gonna line my lips. And I'm gonna go for like a really nude lip color today, because of my eyes. And I'm gonna use this color Bettina by Nars, which is a satin lip pencil. It's the matte lip pencil from Nars that I got in my haul from Ulta. And I'm just gonna do that on my lips. And that is the finished look, you guys. I like it. I think it's super pretty. I think it's super wearable. It doesn't matter that it's green. It looks to me like it's more of an olive green, and I think that the neutral lip with the kind of dark, smoky, olivey green is actually like totally stunning. So if you guys are going to a holiday party and you want to like do something different, try this Theory palette. I think it is so beautiful. I think it is gorgeous. You do have to work that darkest color into your crease a little bit more than I would have liked to, but I still think that the way that they have chosen the greens is brilliant, and I think that this gold with a green undertone is so stunning, and I kind of feel like that is the color that really makes the look. So I'm gonna back you guys out. Not in, out. And let me see. And that is the look, you guys. I really like it. I'm really excited with it. Yay. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the little bell next to the subscribe button, and you will be notified each time I post a new video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.